Hey, what's going on, everybody, man? Nomus J. Let me tell y'all something, man. I just got done reading an article that was shared yesterday by one of my followers. She brought to my attention that there was a writer uh, named Sheenan, man, who interviewed basically a reporter, no, an NFL analyst and gambling expert about why he feels that Matt Patricia had ruined the Lions, in particularly their offense, more lines, and he uses a lot of stats and numbers to support his argument. And already right there, you lost with me. When I see you use all numbers and stats right there, you already lost this debate because it's like if you didn't actually watch the Lions games and you're going based off numbers, where the numbers are basically what he threw for attention. You didn't see what happened. Then you've already lost the debate, man. He tries to compare 2017 and 2018, of course. And the thing is, it's a pointless argument. Basically, because if you looked at the 2017 year, our passing numbers definitely were up. Uh, does that mean necessarily anything? A little bit, but not really. Because at the end of the day, we threw downfield passes to Marvin Jones because that's all we come up with. And Stafford was blitzed a lot. And due to the fact of the matter that we could not run the ball, of course. That has been an issue for the Lions for I don't know how many years now. Uh, we just not got our first 100-yard rusher last year, Matt Patricia's first year. He even tries to state that the Lions' run game, in 2018, even when we ran the ball, we didn't pass better. Well, I seem to remember that we didn't need as many pass attempts against teams when we actually ran the ball effectively. And two, second, because the run was tearing up the team so much better. Then he even tried to say that in the red zone, I believe he did try to say in the red zone that we ran the ball better in 2017 than we did in 2018. I don't even know if that's true or not. I believe it's not true because I remember watching the Steelers game and seeing us doing runs and we just cannot get a yard to get over the line of scrimmage for the touchdown. Off that alone, I believe that's a load of garbage. It could be possibly true because Jim Bob Cooter's efforts to use the running back, everything he blames on the Lions and Matt Patricia should be blamed to a lot of it should be blamed to Jim Bob Cooter. I don't understand how you just completely missed this guy's play calling and decision making for what he needs the quarterback to do, running the same screen routes all the time, where they're predicting our offense. The guy leaves all of that out? You know, he tries to compare Matt Patricia, and the thing is, he's an NFL analyst and gambling expert. So that right now tells me you look at nothing but the name of the team and the quarterback, and then you make your wages based off who's going to win. I don't even think he's even watching the game. How so? And it's funny, these articles and these analysts, and they never bring up the sat totals. They never bring up the sat totals. They only bring up the numbers of the quarterback and the offense produced. They never bring up the other side of it. They never bring up the sats. They never bring up the bad, poor blocking by the linemen, the injuries. They never bring these things up when it comes to Detroit sports media. And because you know why? Because they know they have nothing to talk about. I'm exposing them today, man. They have nothing to talk about. They're out of material. They're just gonna rewatch the same thing over. Any article you see after this that's bashing Matthew Stafford or the Lions, it's not gonna be rewatch stuff that somebody else has already done. They have nothing to contend to, and it's about time we expose this because. You know what I'm saying? I can get into some more of his numbers. I wish I could have been able to write all this down, or have something else that I can read it off of so I can tell you just how stupid this guy sounds. But this guy has no reason. It's like this article writer literally went and interviewed an NFL analyst, and then they just said, "Hey, let's I do Detroit sports media. What do you think about the Lions?" And then this guy just started running his mouth like he had a cold one in his hand. That's what it felt like when I read this article, man. It felt like a guy who was just talking out his back, side his ear. He had no facts to back anything up. So even if the numbers were lower in 2018 versus 2017, did we not see in 2017 Stafford chucking up passes downfield every chance he could? Then he said he thinks that if not to mention we were going to get some of the best defenses in the league to start that year off. We know Minnesota was nasty. The Giants still had a top 10 defensive line. The Atlanta Falcons, they had a couple pieces, but that offense was really the killer of that one. Who else? Then the Carolina Panthers, man, they had a rough defense, and then the Saints actually showed up too. Like the Saints, man, y'all remember that game? Stafford was getting messed up all game. The only time we could get anything going is when they started spreading the ball downfield. That's when the only time our offense got anything consistent. We had Greg Robinson starting, man. Greg Robinson. They had to help set up blocking packages just to get this guy a chance to even make a decent block, man. Like, Wagner was unbalanced because Lane was probably unhealthy, and when he was healthy, like I said, they had to put extra protection on the left side of the offensive line because Greg Robinson couldn't hold his own. You had to remember that. Then, not to mention, you know what I'm saying, we had injuries. We had no names coming in. You had this dude named Emmett Clearly come in there. He did okay, but he was good. There was some other guys too, man, that was even worse than him. They had coming there, and it just didn't make any sense. The offensive line was one of the most unhealthiest groups in 2017. But you want to bring up the numbers of the passing yardage when the play calling was acquitted to the Stafford being able to pass the ball downfield. We ran the ball. We were the one team that run the ball the most on 1st and 10. No other team runs the ball on 1st and 10 more than Lions, under Jim Bob Cooter or Joe Lombardi for that matter. We haven't had a 100-yard rusher since 2013. 100-yard rusher, man. We just got one with rookie, and you downplay it based off because the kid got a little bit banged up towards the end. They rumoredly kept him out just to say bump it. And yes, LeGarrette Blount wasn't the greatest player in the world last year, but even he in the red zone at times did get touchdowns, man. More than we did the year before. The problem with the Lions offense is the coordinator. He's the overall heads up problem. You can say the O-line coach too, but I have more faith in Jeff Davidson as the O-line coach than I do Jim Bob Cooter just coaching anything. Jim Bob Cooter was a big problem with the offense. Could there have been throws in 2018 that could have been made better? Could there have been run designs that could have been made better? Yes, but whose fault is that? That's Jim Bob Cooter. You can't. You're basically trying to say Matt Patricia should have just took over the playbook and started calling the plays to fix the offense when he couldn't do. That's basically what you're trying to insinuate. But no, that's not it. If this guy it's not even sure though. That's the thing. If you read this article again, if you can go on Google and type up Warren Sharp and see if that article pulls up, you can tell this guy is not even confident in what he's saying. It's just like he's just talking about it, trying to be like he's trying to show that he can do math or something. Like, this dude, that's all took from it. He think it's like he's trying to prove that he can do math. He has no logic to this article. I'm telling y'all, go follow. I don't want to say her name. I was gonna say go follow Gloria's daughter on Twitter. She has the article posted. That's how I found it, and she was upset about it. Shout out to her. That's how I found out about this article. And, I'm saying, like, I read through it, but it was a bunch of blah. But, man, that's all I got to say for it. I can't, it's giving me a headache just thinking about it. I mean, they have nothing no more, people. The Lions, Detroit writers, and these NFL analysts have nothing no more. They've been exposed. Links of the description to all DSA members and their channels will be in the description below. Shout out to everybody. I'm Jay in the building.